We're going to start in Shavasana, head facing me, so laying flat on your back. Take up some space on your mat. I like to begin some of the practices with just a tuning in of your physical, emotional, and spiritual body. So use this time as an invitation for you to turn your gaze inward, closing the eyes, beginning to arrive in this space, arrive and create your sacred container for this practice. Take an inhale in through the nose, deep inhale. And on the exhale, sigh it out, letting go of whatever brought you here today, whatever came before this practice, whatever is to come after, setting it aside and forming the shape of your container here. Inviting your gaze inward, noticing the breath, noticing the temperature of the air as you inhale, allowing the body to soften on the exhale, to be held by the earth. And just begin with a scan, starting from the top of your head, slowly all the way through your body. Just noticing any areas where you may be holding tension, tightness. No judgment here, we're just noticing. Beginning to tune in, to listen to the messages our body is sending us, how our body is speaking to us. Today's practice is a practice of self-exploration, of beginning to connect with our inner wisdom, our body wisdom, and our intuition. Noticing these areas where we may be holding some type of emotional or physical block, energetic, stagnant energy that is seeking to be released. And by listening to our bodies with compassion and mindfulness, making adjustments as needed, doing what's right for your body today, knowing that every day we show up a little bit different. Yin yoga is a practice that contains a bit of silence to invite introspection, reflection, integration. So allow yourself to explore the silence throughout the practices. I'll be sharing some affirmations. Feel free to use them as you like. If they resonate with you, if they don't, let them fall away. And then your next inhale, invite your personal intention for today's practice. What is it that you are looking to explore, transform, release? And see that intention in your heart center. And placing your hands over your heart. And release. Coming up to a seated position facing me, we'll move into shoelace. So drawing the left ankle towards the right glute, crossing the right leg over the top, knees stacked whatever way it looks like for you. You can use blocks for support here if needed. If there's a lot of space here and you'd like to close that gap, or maybe wrapping the blanket around sometimes can help just provide a little bit of support. Find a nice tall spine, shoulders down away from the ears. Close the eyes and just begin to tune into the breath, following it from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. And think of this time as awakening your roots, our connection with the earth. If you'd like to invite an affirmation in here, I am constantly growing and evolving. I am constantly growing and evolving. Lengthening the spine on the inhale and keeping that length, but drawing the intention of the breath down into the earth, down into your roots. Beginning to awaken and release anything we're holding in our root chakra. And on the next exhale, walk the hands out if you'd like to, and allow the head to hang heavy here, folding over, rounding the spine here, and drawing the gaze towards the navel. You can keep your eyes closed here if you'd like, and just begin to make that intention to draw the gaze inward. And continue to follow the breath here. Not working to shape the breath or shift it. Just allow it to be as it is for now. Three more breaths here. On the inhale, slowly walk the hands back, bringing the head up last. Gently unwind. Maybe shake the legs out a little bit, nice and gentle. And then drawing the right ankle towards the left glute and crossing the left leg over on top, stacking the knees. You can play around with where you want your feet, where you want your knees. Maybe you just want to take Sukhasana. Whatever feels right to your body here. Notice how it may be different on this side than the other. And find that nice long spine. Really root down through that left hip. Some tendency to kind of lift here. Just think about drawing it towards the earth. And tuning into the breath. Allow it to guide subtle messages to you throughout your practice today. Notice when it begins to become more labored, more restricted. And think about using that as an invitation to maybe back out of the pose a little bit or make an adjustment. In Yin Yoga, we try to aim for about 70-ish, 80% of our effort into a pose. So finding our edge and then backing off a little bit so that we can invite stillness. We can allow ourselves to soften into the postures. Lengthening on the inhale, gently walk the hands out if you feel called to do so, and allow the spine to round and the head to hang heavy here. Allow your breath to be your anchor. If your mind starts to wander, to drift off, gently invite it back to your intention or back to the space. Three more breaths here. And on the inhale, gently walking the hands back and slowly unwinding. And shake the legs out, and then we'll meet in child's pose. If you have any knee sensitivity like I do, I like to use a blanket just to support my knees, a little extra cushion. We'll be bringing the knees to the width of the mat, big toes together for a wide-legged child's pose. You can use a bolster if you like, for a little extra support. Sending the hips back and walking the hands out, bringing the forehead to a block or to the earth. Allow the forehead to soften here, and bringing the mind to the earth, seeking wisdom and intuition, guidance. The earth holds ancient energies and knowledge. If we're seeking answers about ourselves, about our journey, we can use this time here to ask for assistance, to connect, our heart open, our mind open, allowing ourselves to be held here by the earth plane. And if at any time you feel the call or you receive a message from your body's wisdom centers to shift, to adjust, or gently come out of the pose if you're feeling any pain, feel free to take any postures you like. Always trusting what messages you receive and knowing that this sacred space and time is just for you. Everything I'm saying is a suggestion, so if you feel called to do something different, please feel free to follow that call. See if you can deepen the breath for the next couple of breaths here. And on the inhale, lift the gaze towards the hands and gently walk back. And just pausing at the top, closing the eyes, dropping the shoulders, and just noticing the pose leave the body. Notice how it feels to release, to let go. What does that feel like within you? And then when you're ready, open the eyes and we'll meet in tabletop for cat-cows. You have wrist sensitivity. You can also take cat-cows from a seated position. In tabletop, knees stacked underneath the hips, wrists stacked under the shoulders, fingertips spread nice and wide here, gripping the mat, tops of the feet pressed into the earth. Find a nice neutral spine here, pressing away from the earth with the hands. And on the inhale, gently drawing the gaze up, belly drops, tailbone rises. On the exhale, gaze comes towards the navel, spine rounds, tailbone tucks, press away from the earth even more. Inhale, dropping the belly down. Just begin to connect with your breath and the movement that feels good to you. Starting nice and slow and gently working up to a pace that feels like where you need to be today. Tuning into where the breath is flowing in the body. See if you can create an even inhale and exhale. You can begin to make some atypical movements, maybe feeling into the hips a little more. This will be the most movement that we get in today. Just an opportunity to really feel into all of the corners and spaces within you. See if you can hold that even inhale and exhale as you move, however you feel called to move. You may want to isolate the rib cage. You may find a spot that's extra sticky and you want to stay there for a breath or two. And coming back through a tabletop here, lowering the forearms down to the earth. Let the legs come out long behind you and find a Sphinx pose. Elbows stacked underneath the shoulders here, forearms pressed into the earth. Fingertips nice and wide, gaze comes between the hands. Let the legs be heavy here to soften and be held. Drawing the shoulder blades together, opening the heart center to the front of your mat. Breathing into our solar plexus here and into our heart center. Feel into these spaces within you. If you'd like to use an affirmation here, I am at peace with the world around me and within myself. I am at peace with the world around me and within myself. There's an option here to allow the head to hang heavy here. Or maybe placing a block for support, resting your forehead on the block. If you have any sensitivity in your neck or any neck injuries, just being very mindful of all of the little messages you may be receiving. There's also an option to bring the hands to the corners of the mat here and press up for seal, deepening the back bend here a little. Arms active, palms pressing into the earth here. You may get here and arrive and think, nope, not today. That's totally okay. You can lower back down whenever you like. One more breath here, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, slowly lowering down all the way to the mat, forearms crossed at the top of your mat, and just rest your forehead here for a moment. Allow the lower back to release. And we'll roll over onto our backs here. Legs stretched out long. Take a big stretch. Bringing the arms up overhead and reaching all the way from the toes, the fingertips, crown of the head reaching. And then release. We'll come into banana asana, or I like to call it crescent asana sometimes. So we'll gently shift our hips over to the left, just a smidge. And then walk the ankles over to the right side of the mat, crossing the left ankle over the right. And cactusing the arms up above. You can take a peek at me if you need to. Above your head towards the top right corner. So we're creating this crescent shape, this banana shape with our body. Beautiful bananas. Love it. And here, just think about the expansion of the left side body. Think about the space, the breath here, filling all of the spaces, all of the intercostals between your ribs. This opening of the side body, inviting the breath in. Opening up the left side of our body, inviting in our divine feminine energies here, our deep wisdom within our body, our ability to surrender, to allow space, connecting with those qualities of our feminine. 3 more deep breaths here. On the exhale, slowly unwinding, uncrossing the ankles, coming back to a neutral position, maybe pulling the knees in towards the chest, just rocking side to side. The legs come out long here, gently shift the hips to the right. And bring the heels to the left corner of the mat, the bottom, crossing the right ankle over the left. Arms cactus above you, reaching for the left corner of the mat. Creating that crescent shape. Opening up now the right side body. See if you can connect with that even inhale and exhale that we began to cultivate earlier. Allowing our right side, our divine masculine, the energies of outward expression, of all of the doing, connecting with those energies within you. See if you can feel the warmth of the masculine. Breathe into all of the spaces. Last breath here. Gently unwinding. Coming back through center, draw the feet hip distance apart, knees bent. Just begin to windshield wiper the knees back and forth gently, nice and slow. Just a little massage for your sacrum. Really feeling into the hips, into the joints. And coming back through center, pressing through the feet, lift the hips just slightly, shifting them over to the left. And allow the knees to fall to the right, coming into a supine twist. Arms come out to a T. Gaze comes over the left fingertips here. It may feel comfortable to you to grab one of your blocks and place it between your knees, or your bolster between your knees and your ankles. Don't be afraid to use your props. They're there to support you. So we're in this reclined twist. Think about all of those things that you may have awakened within your body here. Things that have come up that you're ready to release. And allow them to be sent down through your roots. Each exhale, releasing and relinquishing to the earth. And on the inhale, gently draw the knees back up towards center. Releasing any props, shifting the hips back to a neutral position. And maybe windshield wiper the knees back and forth, or draw them in towards the chest. Maybe it feels good to you to take a brief happy baby here, reaching through and grabbing the outside edge of your feet, drawing the knees towards the earth. And dropping the soles of the feet back down, knees bent. Pressing through the feet, lifting the hips and shifting them to the opposite side, over to the right, allowing the knees to fall to the left, using any props you need to feel supported, making any adjustments. Arms come out to a T, gaze comes over the right fingertips now. The breath guiding us back to that sense of release. Letting things go that no longer serve us. Maybe even thoughts or judgments about our practice today. Releasing them into the earth. Last breath here. And on the next inhale, gently drawing the knees back up through center. Releasing any props. Shifting the hips back to a neutral position. And bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees fall open for Supta Baddha Konasana or reclined butterfly. You can place blocks underneath your thighs here to bring the earth a little closer if you would like to close that gap. A little more support. And also just let the knees fall towards the earth, knowing you can change your mind at any time. And tuck the chin in towards the chest a little here, gently lengthening the back of the neck. And placing your hands on your belly or one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. Come back to the breath here. You've placed your hands on your body here. Just noticing its movement, the cadence of the breath, the softening of the body. And an affirmation you may feel called to use here, maybe something like, I trust my inner wisdom and knowing. I trust my inner wisdom and knowing. Finding a sense of gratitude for the teachings from your body and your spirit today. Gratitude for this time, this space, this sacred container you've created. Connect back with your intention that you set at the beginning of practice. You can stay here or begin to move into your final Shavasana, bringing the legs out long, arms at your side, taking up space on your mat. Begin to let go of the practice. Let go of any judgments, any stories you may have told yourself during this time. I invite you to maybe do another scan of your body, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Just noticing any subtle shifts. We're back to where we started our practice today. Just inviting a gentle curiosity in. Whenever you are ready, deepening the breath and gently awakening, coming to a seated position facing me. It may feel nice to roll over to one side. Slowly making your way back. And we'll close the class today, taking a circle sweep of the arms up overhead. Inhale, drawing the palms together, exhaling, hands at heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice of self-exploration, of tuning inwards and listening to our deep inner wisdom centers. We're creating a sacred container for your healing. It is my greatest wish that you can carry the benefits of tonight's practice with you throughout the rest of your evening and maybe the rest of your week. Sat Nam, may you align with your favorite version of you. Thank you, thank you,